Hi, everyone. Welcome to Effective to Great Education's Co-Design for Safe AI webinar. This is a 45-minute session that I am presenting as the founder of Effective to Great Education. This is a new webinar that we're doing, really honing in on our organization's core mission. Effective to Great works with our school communities to make wellness the foundation of learning, utilizing emerging technology, AI. I am the Chief Design Officer of our newly developed product, Mindfulness Labs, and I'm going to touch on a little bit through this webinar. And also, just a few tidbits about me. I'm a proud South Carolina native and DC Washingtonian in Ward 7 of the district. I'm also a graduate of the University of North Carolina and Brown University. Just a few fun facts about me. But I'm really passionate about our work, which is why I founded Effective to Great Education. So I want to talk about that. I also am going to go over an introduction overview of mindfulness labs so you get a little bit more understanding of what we're working to release and how we got to this place through our collaborative co-design work, and touch on what that is all about and dig a little deeper on the formalization of our co-design process, and provide you with some AI safety tips that we're thinking about and want to encourage our community to be thinking of. So, our overall objectives for this 45-minute session is to make sure you understand our mission and the approach of how we integrate wellness into K through 12 core learning, and that collaborative method for how we design our solutions and continuously work with our school communities, and how Mindfulness Labs helps us to continue that work and impact, as well as integrating mental health and well-being and safe AI into our core academic learning, and present our strategy framework, which is Circle, that enables us to ensure that we're co-designing in a way that's strategic and creating safe AI practices within our schools. The goal of this conversation is to showcase a clear method for integrating mental health and well being and responsible AI into everyday academic learning through collaboration with school communities. And so I touched a little bit on what what we do at Effective to Great, but when we say we work with K through 12 schools, that means we're co-designing with them culturally responsive, trauma informed, emerging technology AI solutions that are ensuring that we're effective, that we are meeting the needs and the experiences of our school communities, really honing in on our historically marginalized communities, and making sure we're addressing solutions for those most vulnerable. And our tool, Mindfulness Labs, which we're working to bring to market, enables our educators to easily integrate mental health and well-being into core subject learning utilizing AI. You're able to dynamically plan your lessons in an adaptable way, lesson plan, and that is no-brainer integration, making it very easy for you to do this. It's your pocket platform tool that you can use to seamlessly integrate mental health and well-being into core academic learning, and not causing extra work, but actually making it easy for you to find content that you can tailor to your classroom. And our approach with developing mindfulness labs started within the schools, collaborating with our educators, our students, our schools, health organizations, universities, parents and families and guardians, nonprofit organizations, to create a solution that was going to enable our school community to easily apply mental health and wellness into everyday learning. And we created it with the schools. And throughout that process, one of the other critical aspects of our co-design was being intentional to reach out towards our marginalized communities, making sure that we're not only just reaching out, but centering them in our co design process to ensure that we have approaches on our platform that are not only just technically sound, but relevant, ethically guided, and built for lasting impact within all of our school communities, reaching the most vulnerable. We co created mindfulness labs with our school communities, and um, that took our framework. That this is where our framework came into play. We've been co-designing for many years now, since 2018, 2019. We started our co-design work, and basically, I want to walk you through how we formalize that. I put together an acronym called the Circle Framework that Effective to Great Education uses, and it stands for Circle. It stands for Community Informed Initiation, is the C. I is inclusive in planning and goal setting. R is responsive development and testing. C is collaborative implementation. And L and E is learning and equity review. So I want to just walk you through the different principles and components of this framework. Um, Community informed initiation is how we go into partnering with our schools. We offer some type of service or a focus group, attending a fair or a seminar where we provide educational content on what it means to self regulate, understanding our emotional well being and why that's critical for academic learning. We host those talks and we bring in some of our own partners, our medical practitioners, our mental health providers to these sessions um, to provide a connection on furthering our understanding of why wellness is important, and also discussing some of the current needs that the community might be facing. This is enabling us to build trust and really make sure we're understanding where the gaps are. And with that, we're able to partner. And in that partnership, we have to plan. So, and our planning process includes our stakeholders. Those are those students, the educators, the families, our school mental health professionals, and also our student support specialists at the schools. We bring a group of those together to plan how are we going to partner? How are we going to research together, create a study, develop the prototype, and really get an understanding of what those goals need to be. And in our responsive development of these plans, we do some small tests. We develop the actual design or the prototype, go over that with this stakeholder group. And we also are looking at how to make sure the technology is feasible, addressing the needs of the educator or the user at the school of the platform, and do interactive demos to really gain consensus and have a focus for our partnership. And then in the implementation of that, we're all working together. It is a collaborative launch. We're working together throughout that process and continually gathering feedback and reviewing that for learning and making sure we're having an equity impact. Now, AI is a critical piece, or emerging technology is a critical piece for our framework. But one of the things with Effective to Great is making sure that we have K through 12 safe AI. And because there's such a dependency on AI, and it can really, we need to make sure we can implement a balanced approach to how we use AI that is prioritizing our our human needs and also privacy and our own authority. So we want to think about how that applies to the classroom, how that applies to schools and learning and teaching. So we're looking at challenges with AI in K through 12 at Effective to Grade, and this is some of the hot button topics that I've drilled down here for you. One is ethics and integrity. That is a main challenge when you have students that are using AI that are cheating. There's also students who may be international students, and we are detecting AI usage for students who have passed TOEFL and they have a different way of how they um, uh, process, speak, and write. And so AI may look at that and cause false detection of AI usage when you're a non US native speaker. So, another challenge is racial bias and exploitation. Marginalized communities are more vulnerable to unfair AI outcomes, and that is a big challenge that we're focused on. There's also confidentiality risk. Um, Sensitive student data being exposed through AI systems is something. Gender bias is another challenge. Another example of that are um, if a child, a student is applying for a program, whether it is to go to college or not even just a student, just a person maybe looking to apply for a job opportunity. If our AI screeners will look at female applicants as being caring and compassionate and see male applicants as being trailblazers and more assertive, reinforcing gender based stereotypes. The other the other challenge is media literacy decline, and this is huge. This is a big challenge because when we are increasing our dependency on AI, this is reducing the analytical and critical thinking skills, um, and also increasing susceptibility to deep fake images and content and scamming. So I wanted to just highlight these. These are things that we're deep diving with at Effective to Great right now. And I'd love for you to take a moment and jot down what your greatest concern or challenge is in regard to AI that are either on this list or not. Just jot that down, and I'd love to hear some of those. But I do want to leave you with some steps um, that can, or some tips rather, that can be helpful for maintaining AI safety in your classroom. So, when we think about just designing a lesson or a course, rather, you want to use assignments that emphasize personal reflection, creativity, and problem solving. Also, include discussions on ethics and the value of independent learning. And with your lesson plan or syllabus structure, set clear guidelines for AI use and misuse in your classroom, in your course. Also, require integrity pledges specific to AI. Um, Third tip is regarding how you assign your the assignments you give and also assessing students. Create tasks that highlight originality and require process documentation. Make sure you incorporate interactive or oral assessments to evaluate real time thinking. And when appropriate, integrate AI tasks with reflection on ethical usage. And when it comes to the practices within your classroom, host integrity and AI workshops when possible. You can leverage Effective Great to help you with those. Also, use role play and scenario based learning to strengthen human skills. We have different types of lessons already planned out on Effective to Great that have role play and scenario based learning. And this is work that I would love to build upon in our platform. Encourage peer review and debate around ethical AI usage. 5 is feedback and reflection with your students. Require them to provide reflective journals on learning with or without AI. Offer peer feedback sessions on methods and ethics regarding learning. Also, provide frequent feedback on responsible AI integration, help reinforce understanding the importance of how to use AI in a way that is appropriate. And then, in regard to privacy safeguards, protect student data with strong safeguards that have used technology that have encryptions, limit access to student data, and only use the minimum data necessary. Be transparent with families and staff about data use, consent, and privacy policies. These safeguards and privacy policies are information um, you should ask with any technology service provider that you're utilizing. You should ask for um, what their privacy policies are um, with any technology tool subscription or contract supplier that you may be utilizing at your school or organization, and ask for those policies to be clear, be clearly outlined, and to send clearly outline updates, not the 8 font print, um, 8 font print update, or that long robust content. That's good to have if you need to go into the weeds to understand exactly everything, but they should give you the nuts and bolts of what all of that they have listed out, all of the um, details they've listed out. That should be, they can give a summation of that that's clearly outlined for you to review and ask questions. So, this brings us to the end of our session today. I want to thank you for your time. I would I offer you to partner with us to create a more effective, safer schools and communities that are leveraging AI. I also wanted to leave with a few updates. We are releasing a trailer for Mindfulness Labs that's coming out very soon. Um, we would love for you to partner with us in our further development of Mindfulness Labs. Our beta solution is what we're working to release, and we're looking to have early adopter partners for that release. The other thing is let me know of the type of topics you would like to see. Effective to Grade is going to be doing more of these webinars online and also in person. We want to know what you want to hear when it comes to K12 safe AI and what topics we should be talking about and discussing. Again, I thank you for your time, and I look forward to engaging with you further.